Hello and welcome to this GCSE Foundation lesson 11.5 on area of trapezia. Trapezia is the plural of trapezium. Okay, so we start off with a do now task. This is really useful, helps you recognise all the different shapes. Copy out each box, draw a diagram of the shape underneath and put the name of the shape next to where it says the shape number. You will need to pause the video to do this. Okay, let's have a look, see how you got on. So shape 1 is clearly a square, and there's a diagram. Notice the lines on the sides there mean that those sides are all the same length. Shape 2 is clearly a rectangle. It's got one line on for the two top and bottom sides because they're equal, and a different line, two lines together showing the other two sides are opposite and equal. Shape 3 is a rhombus. Two pairs of opposite and equal angles and four equal sides. Shape 4 is parallelogram. People often get those confused. Shape 5, one set of parallel lines, is a trapezium, and that's one of the shape we'll be looking at mainly today. And shape 6 is an isosceles trapezium, where we've got one pair of lengths that are the same. Shape 7, two pairs of equal sides and one pair of equal angles, is a kite. And shape 8 is an arrowhead. I would pause the video and make sure you've got all those names and diagrams correct. Okay, so as we've said, today is the area of a trapezium. So bronze learning is to be able to remember the formula. You do need to learn it. Silver is to be able to use it, to be able to find the area of trapezium. Trapezia is the plural, as I've said. And gold, again, is to solve problems involving compound shapes and trapezia. It's always just that added degree of difficulty. Our keywords are on the left-hand side. Okay, so where do we see trapezia in real life? Where do we see them? Have a little think for a few seconds, and then click. And we will see. Okay, here are a few examples. So you might have a pendant, looks a little bit like that, necklace even. That's a key ring. We've got some sort of stepping stone maybe. A bite reflector could be in that shape. So now we're going to look at how we find the area of a trapezia. So here are two trapezia the same. Watch what happens. They are the same size. If we turn that round and then move it across, we've created a parallelogram, haven't we? Okay, so let's see what happens next. The area of that parallelogram, well, we've done that before. It's the length times the height in our previous learning. The length of the bottom, and the length of the top, of course, is A plus B. And we multiply that by the perpendicular height, h. So we can see that two trapezium make a parallelogram, and that would be the area. Okay, now, the trapezia is only one of those shapes, isn't it? Half the size. So therefore, the area is half times A plus B times H. And that's something you need to copy into your books. So you need the shape, and you need the box on the bottom right hand side for the area. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, so now we're going to look in the silver learning to be able to find the area of a trapezium. I would definitely recommend that you copy into your books. And as I've said, I'm just reminding you, you do need to learn the formula, or at least you need to learn how to use it every time. So as it says top right, A and B are the parallel sides. The little arrows on the diagram on the top right show you that they are parallel. Sometimes they are top and bottom, sometimes they are left and right, depending on which way round the orientation of the shape is. So here we've got area is half a plus b times h. A and b are the two parallel sides, so they are the 3 and the 5, and the height is the 4 in between them. So we work out the bracket first, we know that, so it's half times 8 times 4. Now at this stage, I've done 8 times 4 is 32, and you end up with 16. Don't forget the units, centimetres square. You could have done a half of 8 is 4, and 4 times 4 would also give you 16 square centimetres. Pause the video while you copy that as an example in your book. Okay, so here's a second example, and again, I'd recommend you put this into your book. So, we've got half a plus b times h, and here a and b, as you can see, we've labelled them on the diagram, are the vertical sides. So they are 5 and 7, or 7 plus 5, doesn't matter which way around you do it, times the distance between them. So that's a half times 12 times 10. I've done a half of 120, which is 60. And again, you could have done a half times 12, which is 6, and 6 times 10 is 60. Again, I would copy that into your books as an example. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, so here's your opportunity. There's 2 trapezii on the board, or on the whiteboard. So draw those diagrams, pause the video, work out their areas. Okay, so here are my 2 answers on those. Make sure you've worked through them correctly. Notice I always write the formula down. I do that every time to make sure I remember it. So the first one should be 30 centimetres squared. And the second one, again, I've written the formula down. I've got 45 centimetres squared, so hopefully you've got the same as me. Okay, so here's your big task. So pause the video, draw the shapes out, show all your careful working out. It's really, really important. Okay, well done if you've done all of those. Let's have a look at the answers. So here are my answers. Pause the video while you check them. Hopefully I got them all correct. If you've got any that we didn't agree with, don't be afraid to email your teacher just to check with the answers. Okay, let's see where we go from here. Right, here's an exam question. Which of these shapes has got the smallest area? Draw each shape out. Think about what you're going to do. Pause the video whilst you answer this. It should take you 4 minutes because it's 4 marks. Okay, so what did I do? I worked out the area of the triangle. I worked out the area of the trapezium, top right. I worked out the area of the rectangle. I haven't finished there because the question says which of these shapes is the smallest area, so I must answer that question. Shape A, the triangle, has the smallest area. Okay? Right, let's see what happens. That's bronze and silver certainly sorted. Let's see what happens. Here's our gold learning, a compound shape. Well, we've worked on compound shapes at the beginning of lesson 2 of this module. So we know that we can split the shape up and add the 2 areas together. So here we've got the total area is the rectangle plus the trapezium. We know how to do the rectangle, length times width. The trapezium, we've now learnt the formula, half times a plus b times h. So we substitute the numbers into the correct places. So the length and width are 11 and 8. 11 is also one of the parallel sides in the trapezium. It's that dotted line on the diagram. So it's a half times 11 plus 6. That's the opposite parallel side times the distance between them, 5. And we work through it. So the first bit gives us 88. I've done my 11 plus 6 is 17. Second sum gives us 42 and a half. I think I did a half times 17 is 8 and a half, and 8 and a half times 5 is 42 and a half. So our total area is 130.5 metres squared. I would copy that one down as an example, and then there's another one we're going to work through on the next slide. Pause the video while you do that. Okay, so here's the second example. Same as before, area is the rectangle plus the trapezium, and we work through them there. So length times width plus a half times a plus b times h. Always a good idea to write the formulas down. So 8 times 5. The two parallel sides in the trapezium are 8 and 4. And the distance between them, the height, is 3. Calculate it through, and we end up with 70 square metres. Okay, again, if you want to copy that, you can. Right, this is another one of those, secure your gold learning. You've got questions A, B and C. You're going to need to pause the video, you're going to need to draw the diagrams, you're going to need to show full working out to help you get the right answers. So pause the video while you work through these three. Okay, so let's see how I got on with them. I think the answer to the first one is 106 centimetres squared. I think the second one is 90 centimetres squared, and I think the third one is 45 centimetres squared. Okay, so check those, and again, don't be afraid to email your class teacher if you disagreed. Okay, so let's have a look at our learning. Our bronze learning to us to be able to remember the formula for the area of a trapezium. Area equals a half times a plus b times h. Silver is to find the area of the trapezium, which we've done lots of, and our gold learning was to solve problems involving compound shapes of trapezia. And if you've got A, B and C correct on the last slide, you've certainly accomplished that. So, well done, and now remember to go and do your Hegarty maths work. Make sure you watch the videos before you answer the questions, okay? It saves you having to go back and redo it. But well done, and I look forward to doing some work with you on circles in the next lesson.